Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in last video, we have done about make a validation for the sign in form and sign up form, right? And sign in. Okay, so today I'm going to implement the back end. So we connect the front end and to back end and store a user sign in and user sign up information. Okay, so let's get started. So as usually, we have two folders with the API, and we're cooking in backend REST service. And here is the app, so React frontend app. So in API, right, we have a router. This router setup we did for connect to frontend to backend via this endpoints. So in this case, we need to have a sign up. So I will set up a new router endpoint. So I already set for the backend server by try localhost and 4000. Okay, so here is our API. And so now I'm going to set up a new API endpoint equal this API and user and port data. So let's get started to create a new router. So here I can do this by a new user port. So we can do app.port API user right. Same thing, we do have an ESH arrow function request param request response next. Right. Alright, so basically I would like to return very restart stars simple 200 is the success course and .json. Alright, right. JSON with object. So with object simple, I can do a name one email. Oh, sorry. Tabvn.com, something like that. It's a very basic. Okay, so we wait for server restart, and it should be restart soon. Okay, so it's restart. So now we can't open this on browser because it's required to port. So I'm going to use a portman to test this. Shall I commands? Oh, here we go. So, as here is our API. It's localhost with port target and API user. So now I'm going to port very basic and just empty, nothing. Port nothing but and you should see the return to be name and my email address. So and here's send button. So you can see that. Okay, so now we are going to implement in our React app. So we need to connect to the backend. So how to do that? So let's open it in our component login, right? Login, and so we have should we have a submit button, right? So here we go, and there, right? So now we do our send request. to backend, right? So in our backend, so now in insert, right? So console layout hyper, right? So in hyper, so I could like to create this new new file called user.js. Alright, same thing. Alright, ACS. Or make sure we have install ACS. Right, we did install ACS package. So now we import ACS from ACS. Right. User. Alright. Do a post course. Right. Right. Create account. Create user account. User account equal an arrow function. It's a user object. Alright. Now we can do by return ACS dot parse data, and sorry, it should be URL and data. Data now become to user. We send from param of this create user account function. So we need to define URL. So URL keys can be config. So we have a API config. So now we need to do that by import API URL from, it should be config. Okay. So I'm going to quit my web browser, WebStorm, and open this in cd text and Sublime text, and should be right. Close this, and we get back to right. It should be user, and here we're working on user and import API URL. So we can do this cross URL equal, and let's check about in config. We have a API localhost. All right, we are working on development. Set production equal 4. That means the URL become to this. So right, so we do right, copy that API URL and slash with user. Now so this here API, our API. So user, okay, so return as yes, part user dot. Okay, so I think that's enough. So now how is user create user account in our component is it login? So very simple. We can do that by import. Alright, create user account. So create user, and now I can remove that. Make user method very short. User from helper and user. Okay. So when we have a submit on submit after we did validation and make sure the form is validated and ready to submit it. So we can do that by create user. Now your user parameter can use that by the user, or you can do this state dot user, right? And then alright, and then we can make this right. Then respond should be an arrow function. Now we can do simply we can do that by hey, I got data after post, send post is response, right? So okay, so now can we show in helper user helper a postcard create. Okay, so make sure it's create a user postcard helper. Oh, sorry. So now it should work. Right, I missing an equal. Right, should be equal. Right, a shared is not defined access. Alright, a shared. Not far. Right, config. Alright, in user it's config. Helper and config should be outside of helper, so it's 2. Okay, so here we go. Let's make sign up. Alright, so I make a mistake because when we have two forms that is sign in and sign up within a same login component. So we need to check when user is submit as login and when user is submit as register. So basically we can do that if is a login. Now we do send data for login endpoint, right? And oh, now in this case we are going to create a new user, so we'll do that. Okay, so copy that. So now app should be restart, and now I'm open console and see something, and click sign up, and let me push my name, for example John, and for John, and just John at gmail.com. Password should be 1234 123 and 4. Now hit submit button, and like we change to network tab in Firefox, you can see request. Now hit sign up. Okay, so now you should see the post methods to our API and return to 200 course. This means a successful course. And check about response. Now you should see response. It should be JSON format with a name and my email address. So look good. So now we get back to console tab. Now you should see, hey, I got data after send port, use data. Now you should take data with email and name. Right, so far so good. So we need to take this user information and save in our MongoDB. So let me open the robot3t and check our database. Now in new connection, fire and collection. So right, this should I should be empty that. Drop this collection. And so let me check. Alright, get back to, let me close that, and get back to our API. Now in router, so in our router, so we have it. Alright, should be user. Okay, so we work with it. In model we have a file and port, so I'm going to create a new file about user.js, save that as some user. Basic, I can do 8 ports, default class user. Right, same thing with constructor. Should in app z.app equal app and z.model equal. So we have a name by default, just make empty. An email, as for example, no, and name, email, and password, no. So, wow, you can do as more field if you want, but in this tutorial, I'm just going to add a name, email, and password, and we have a created. This time should be new date, right? And update as an update should be new. Okay, so right, so now in our router, so we basically can do right course body equal using loadout function, we go request body. Now you simply we can do course slop dot right data from front end part should be body. Alright, so now save that. So should see our API should restart. So once again I hit submit in. Right, so we see return and check out console data from front end post. Alright, so data from post is an empty object because I didn't pass anything in our object and our body object. Now check my JSON format. For example, I can do name. It should be in JSON format. Name. Okay, so it's my name. On email. Alright, so now hit submit again. Okay, so get back to our console. You should see data part from name, email, right? And if you are add more field, for example, password 1, 2, 3, and 4, hit send again. Now in our console, you should see in passwords 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So now we need to do initialize a new user model. So we simply can do this course, right? Some course user equal. Alright, user, new user, an app. Because in constructor we have app, so make sure you pass the param when you initialize a new user model. So we didn't import the user class, so we have to import that. Import user from. Alright, should be in model and user. So now it's ready to do. I'm sorry. So right, card user, new user. Right, so we create a new user by, so basically we can do initialize with two param. For example, as user object. But I don't want to do that because in the next time we may use this. So I create a new method by init with object. Right, so you can pass object right here. So this does model dot name equal, I'm using loadout function, so we make sure to import it. Import underscore from loadout. Okay, so get object. Right, object from name should be name, and by default should be new. Let's copy that. Name, email, get subject name. email and should be password. Alright, so name, email, password. Alright, so what happens if user sending an email like this? Or name or email, right? Sorry, it should be inside. And like that. And email like that, right? We allow password should be space, it's okay, but email and name, so I'm going to trim space. So in the loadout function, we can have function equal, right, trim, right, trim. I want to trim both and star. So we just trim. So let's do that by trim this. Right. Same thing we do. And so one issue is what happens if user enter email like this, because email should be not like that, should be unified. So we need to so include that we have a function equal lower k, or two lower should be lower k, or two lower. I make sure this. Alright, this is two lower. So let's copy that function. So in email, so we need to look two lower. Alright, so we grab two and passwords, create this, update. Okay, so look good. So new user app, and so user.init with update, and so body. So we copy body. So in the next time, we need to change the body and validate this body. Make sure the user don't post any dangerous script in required body. But for basically, so we can just use that for, and later we can check out. So user we need to update, and so we in this case return this. And now just can do dot create, so code app equals this app, code model equals this dot model, right? So cost db equal app.db. So make sure app.db are check out in index file. So we need to make sure we have app.db. App.setDB is okay, but I want to do this very simple. This app.db equal db, and save that. Alright, so we don't need app anymore. Alright, so cost and db. Now we can do it by db.insert1. Alright, model and arrow results. Alright, I need to create a callback function right here. Callback. The callback function should basically we call back to parameter return callback. Or if you want to make a sort by cb, and should be return cb. Alright, and arrow and result. Okay, so it our create. Let's check out model and file before. Alright, so parse. Okay, look, so now in our router, so we can do course new user, so we can do by very simple by course new user equal initialize and return it, and we can do create. So so we can do that because we have callback with two parameters in arrow and new user should be an arrow function. So now we console those log new user created with arrow and new user arrow and callback, right? So now should we do that? Return. We check this if arrow and return red dots stars and arrow code should be right, and the sun with the sun should be matrix. Alright, arrow with object matrix, an arrow creating new user account. So I don't want to show up an arrow to the user because it's very dangerous, so don't show up. Just otherwise we return res dot stars 200 and JSON. Now should be new user. Okay, let's make a test. So I will test by name and password 1 2 3 4 and hit submit. Alright, hit submit. Before that I want to make sure our server is correct. Cause model. Right, it's this model. Packet token. So is something happened in our cars? This is mistake. Right, should wait for user restart. Right, it restart now. So let's try again. Hit show my name, and so you should see. And now collection, no more user here. So after I submit, okay, app is not defined. So that means router. Alright, so it should be this .app.db. One again. Okay, now we submit. db.insert1 is not function. Insert1. So let's get back to our router and check a new function before we did that. Yes, parse. I think it should be insert1. Alright. So my mistake. So basically we can do db.collection user and insert1. Okay. So hit submit again. Okay, it should return user, and so refresh this. Should see user, and in here is the object created, the datetime format, the password and email, name and object ID. Okay, look good. So it's work. So let's get back to our front end app. We'll make a test. I need to clear the console and show sign up. Its name, for example, I want to add another name, test1, and test1 at gmail.com, and password for 1 2 3 and 4. 1 2 3 and 4. Hit submit. Okay, don't save it. So now we can see we got data at the send part, so it starts is 200. That's successful. Okay, so let's check out user collection. Now you should see a new object that save out to our database. Look good. Okay, so what we need to return exactly. So I'm sorry. Let's check our router. So in this case, let's call back an error. I believe. Alright, so go back and research. So in search one. So actually I don't want to use the result because you can see the result equal the enter the n is mean the number row of result, and okay the status of success commands save or not. So in this case user, so we need to return this. Alright, model. I return this model. Okay, so one again to make the test. Clear console. And tab2, change it. tab2. The password should be same 1, 2, 3, and 4. So hit save that. Now you should see in callback, so we have a data. Now it's data now with new ExpressJs ID, and that time we created user and email, name and test and password. Okay, so first of all, let's refresh our database. So you should see a new item should show up. Okay, so in the next video, I will show you how to validation of the backend API, because for now I want to make a resubmit again. Hit again. Now you should see we are allowed save database with the same email address. But we need to validation before save our tattoo. Now just check out the database. You should see a 2 duplicate email or email address. So next video I will show you how to do that. Okay, see you and bye for now.